I take this opportunity to heartily congratulate Musa Ali for his election as the new chairperson of the Africa Union Commission, and allow me
kuanguka kwa baba kumenifurahisha sana. Juu mimi nilikuwa najiuliza kwani huku hakukuwa na mwana youth Kenya ingesimamisha imsupport juu huyu mzee miaka yake imeenda sana. Na sisi tuko na furaha juu huko ni kama alikuwa ameenda kufishwa na huko. Ndio siasa huku kwanza hiyo imerudi nini chini. Sisi tuna furaha juu sasa kimeumana. Juu hiyo ndio tulikuwa sisi tunaga. Juu zile zote damas zilikuwa zimetengenezwa. Sasa tunajua zote maba kuisha.
Majina unaitwa nani mama?
Kwa majina naitwa Wanjiro wa Geshero. Na mimi ni mama mboga hapa soko ya Karatina. Mimi nasema tumefurahi sana na ndio unasikia tunapiga sababu Mungu ameturudishia baba. Sasa tunataka baba akuje aingie parliament. Sababu wao ndio wako wengi sasa. Tunataka akuje asimame kama vile alikuwa anasimama. Yeye ndiye alikuwa anaona watu yeye atatoboa asili. Vile kule watoto wetu wanaenda. Kwa hivyo tunamkaribisha sana na tunamtaka sana. Karibu nyumbani baba.
Wewe mama, kwani hujivuni kuwa Kenya ilikuwa imejiwasilisha kwa ule uchaguzi?
Walituambia tuache ukabila. Na ndio hata sisi hatukumsupport. Juu hatutaki ukabila. Baba kuja nyumbani. Karibu nyumbani. Tunakungojea sana.
In Palestine, like the entire SADC, South African group of countries, the former frontline states that fought against apartheid, in South Africa, could not stand with Raila Odinga. So Raila Odinga lost 3/4 of the African continent just by supporting Israel. So that's number one. So I knew there was no way Raila Odinga was going to win. You cannot win when you are with Israel in Africa. You cannot win in the world today when you are with fascists and racists and genocidal lunatics in the world. You cannot win. So that's number one. Number two, Raila Odinga is a con man. Raila Odinga betrayed Kizza Besigye. On that basis alone, Raila Odinga demonstrated that he was not a true Pan-Africanist. A true Pan-Africanist has to be an honest man with integrity, has to be a man and woman who believes in the rule of law, who believes in the principle of constitutionalism, who believes on respect for human rights, who believes on the supremacy of the Constitution, which comes with the Bill of Rights. Raila Odinga does not believe on any of these things or in any of these things. So, in that context, Raila Odinga was going to export to Addis Ababa, to the AU, and to the AUC, all the bad manners that he has learned and is perpetuating in Kenya. Point number three. The glorious, heroic Gen Zs of Kenya went to the streets in 2024, June 25th. Our revolutionary Gen Zs mobilized, organized, and opposed the Finance Bill 2024. They mobilized, they protested, they took over parliament, and they stopped Ruto in his tracks. Ruto was in the process of implementing the most punitive IMF-imposed conditions of taxation without representation, of taxation without benefit, of taxation without rights, of being turned slaves in your own country. And after that happened, and Ruto was just about to be removed from his legitimate perch at the State House, Raila Odinga went behind the Gen Z's backs and did a deal, an evil contract, an arrangement with the abductor and the chief mass murderer in East Africa, the most corrupt man in Africa, the second most corrupt man in the entire world, William Kipchirchir Ruto, stood in front of the entire world at the KICC and announced that he was going to support Ruto. He didn't care that Ruto had murdered hundreds of Gen Zs after the protest, during the protest, and in days after that has perpetrated a systematic abduction of young people, disappeared them, tortured them, and continues to kill many of them. Raila didn't care about that. Raila didn't care about the real grievance that led to the Gen Z revolution. The fact that the Gen Zs, more than 65% of them, highly qualified, young with a lot of energy and vision, are unemployed. And there are no reasonable prospects that they will get employment this year, next year, the year after, 10 years from now. That is not in the plan of these power barons, the bandits in Nairobi. And the Gen Zs could see that and said, look, we own the country. Kenya does not belong to William Ruto. Kenya belongs to 56, 60 million Kenyans, 65% of whom are Gen Zs or younger. These are the owners of the country. These are the people that the future belongs to, not the renegades, not the old people that have looted and are going to die in a few years anyway. But no, Raila did not stand with the Gen Zs. Raila did not stand with the future. Raila stood with his stomach. Raila stood with his greed. Raila stood with his conmanship and arrogance and said he was going to join Ruto in cracking down on the critics of the government. That's